Yo, welcome back to Kam Dan Live. We are live right now, and it is November 1st, 2020, and we are coming to you past Halloween night. I'm Daniel Kamalo with my guy Kamal. What's going on, Cam?
Yo, nothing, man. Yo, this was a crazy weekend of fights, man.
It was crazy. It was incredible.
And we had
Very.
two DAZN fights. We had
Mm,
uh we had oh man, Top Rank and PBC, man. So
yeah, yeah, and we even had Matchroom in the UK as well.
yes, big up to Eddie Hearn, man. Big up to Eddie
Mm,
Hearn. Yo, did
Eddie.
you see that Jaime Munguia fight?
No, I did not see the Jaime. I know of the Jaime Munguia fight. After what happened in it, but tell what happened in the Jaime Munguia fight.
I mean, Jaime Munguia reminds me of like a Jared Hurd type, like that type of style, the high guard and coming forward.
Yeah, yeah.
That fight was a little bit back and forth between him and Johnson, and I see the same thing I see in Hurd, the same thing I see in Jaime Munguia. Like these guys offensively are good, but they defensively they suck. They just like they keep their head right, like they're there to be punched.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Hit me and be hit. Yeah.
you
Like,
know, I don't get it. It's like the harder you hit them, the more they come back at you. But it's just like, yo,
yeah.
I don't think that kind of style is not going to be good in boxing. I think he needs to really work on his defense. But nevertheless, in the sixth round,
Mhm.
tell me why he hit this dude with the right uppercut and he opened his lip.
It was brutal. It was
It
brutal to
was
see.
nasty,
Cringe.
man. When
I
they
did not
show
see
yo, I
cringe.
cringe when he like. It was like I cringe when I saw that, and I also cringe when oh my goodness, Badu Jack when his joint got split open. Remember?
Oh, nah, the Jack fight. That was, oh,
he, but he split that dude lip open. I'm just like, yo, how you gonna kiss your wife when you go home, man?
yeah. Nah, that sucked, man. That was painful. You know what I feel like? What it must have been. Those uppercuts. The Badu Jack, I think, was caused by a clashing of the heads. That was the.
I
I
think
think that
so
was.
too. I think
Yeah,
so
that
too.
was. That
And
was a
big up
clash.
to
It's this
yeah.
time. I feel like it was a punch.
Nah,
He
this one
must
was
have.
a punch.
Mm,
This one
he
was a
must
punch.
have hit his lip on his. Might have hit his lip on
Cause
his.
I don't know, because when
And
they showed it in slow motion, you could see like piece of the lip like just
mm,
come off the air. It was
that was brutal, man. That was brutal.
yo,
But Jaime Manguria is former World Boxing Organization champion, the Super welterweight champion, and so he picked up a victory last night. So
yeah.
mm,
Yo, the monster was on
the
point
monster,
last night
the
too,
Tokyo
man.
monster, the Japanese
Yo,
monster.
Inoue,
Yeah,
yo. Let me tell you something about Inoue.
I like
Earlier,
Inoue.
I like him too, but
Mm.
one of the earlier cards, I think the first card, your boy was fighting Jared Anderson.
Yeah, Rick, he's been super active this year. First
Yeah,
of all, respect
this was his
to.
fourth fight in the bubble,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's 7-0 with 7 knockouts. But the reason I bring him up was because when he was fighting, these are heavyweights, so when you hit and you connect them shots are hard and heavy.
Uh, yeah,
Watching the
yeah,
Inoue fight, and every time Inoue hit him, I was like, yo, why does it sound like he's hitting this guy like a heavyweight?
yeah,
He was fighting
yeah.
Maloney from
From
Australia.
Australia, who recently fought.
Australia. And like he's
Yeah, and
hitting this
yeah,
like and it's like the way it is
the
like
long,
boom,
yeah,
boom.
the
It's
thuds. It's like a
stud like
baseball
it's
bat.
studding shots.
Mm.
He hitting him I mean he's a grown man, but I'm like he hitting him like a heavyweight, just tearing him up.
Everywhere.
And
Yeah, yeah.
I just,
The reason why they call him the monster, Inoue, the Naoya Inoue, the monster, And back when I was fighting, obviously me and him, I knew about him at a long time before the mainstream boxing public did, and when obviously I'd be cautious of him, because if I ever had to face a guy like this, so I seen the way he trains. You know what he does? You know one workout that he did?
no.
He would get a semi and they would attach a piece of rope to a semi that is down the hill. He'd be in front of the semi. He, keep in mind, 5'4", 120 pounds. He would get whether there was assistance, I don't know. I didn't see those assistants. He would get the rope attached to the semi, an 18-wheeler, and pull it behind. I'll send you the video. Pull it, I'll put the video in the link. He would pull that semi. Can you imagine?
The only person I've seen do that is Adrian Peterson.
I was just saying Adrian Broner.
No, Adrian Peterson. He was I don't even know if he still plays football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really be watching football like that anymore. But but as I say that, I got the the Ravens and the Steelers is on right now. But I mean, I don't watch it to the extent like I know everybody that's in the league. But Adrian Peterson, they showed him they attached the rope to his waist, and they have him like he's pulling the tractor trailer, just like as you said. But for this to be, you know, a guy fighting at 118 pounds to do something like that, that's just astonishing.
That's insane. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And to be so lean and everything. Now, Naoya Inoue is a monster, you know. And I feel like right now, as you see where he is now, you know, it's interesting. We have to talk about the commercial ability and big fights he can be in, not in terms of just big competitive fights, but big, you know, economical fights, you know, for him to be, you know, Demetrius Johnson, former UFC flyweight champion, was on pay-per-view. I don't see a reason why Naoya Inoue can't be on pay-per-view. And so right now it's at bantamweight. I think, you know, there's a lot of good fights that he can be on at super bantamweight as well. You know, a lot of big fights he can have around there. You know, maybe Calio Fai, Ray Vargas, and Luis Neri. You know, a lot of what? No?
Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Rigondeaux, that's the one. But bless him, Rigondeaux is so old.
Well, here's the thing though. Inoue has a WBA super belt. Mm-hmm. Rigondeaux has a WB regular
belt. It can happen.
It can happen.
But the thing is, though, Rigondeaux is with the Godfather. Inoue is with the old man. So if they're going to be able to make the terms work,
they go to clash. And Rigondeaux was with the old man. I mean, you got me talking that stupidness too, man. He was with Bob Arum, man. Come on, man. He's the old man and then the God.
That's the lingo. You picked up the lingo.
Yeah.
That's the street now. But go on. Now you're right. He was with the old man. You're right.
Yeah, he was with him, and then for some reason it didn't work out. You know, after he beat Nonito Donaire, after he demolished Nonito Donaire, he beat that man down. Right. After he beat that, it was just like it was hard. Like nobody wanted, like, you know, Bob Arum didn't want to promote him and give him any fights no more. He was like, you came in and said that Rigondeaux was too boring, and then he comes in, give you an action-packed fight, and beat one of your best fighters, which was your cash cow. That you thought your cash cow was gonna run over him, and then you just just roll over and you got a new cash cow. That's all you had to do.
Yeah,
that's a topic for another day, though, man.
Yeah. Now I respect Rigondeaux as well. You know, Rigondeaux is probably one of those guys I wish that thank God I didn't have to fight. You know, because he was it's so hard to figure him out. You know, I think the only person who figured him out was Vasily, and only because Vasily was bigger at that time. You know, but yeah, Naoya Inoue versus Rigondeaux, I wouldn't mind shelling. You know, maybe not on pay-per-view, but maybe on his own, heavily promoted on Fox, you know, the network, and if it is going to be by the Godfather, if it's by the old man, then on ESPN, and you know, just a big fight, you know, because I feel like he's at that superstar level now. He just needs some dance partners, you know what I'm saying? Now he just needs some dance partners, you know, to mash with. But
a good dance partner besides Rigondeaux, you mentioned earlier, was Luis Neri too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm high on Luis Neri too, man. Like some people, I know they like looking at the welterweights, and sometimes y'all gotta come down to these little weights, man. These bantamweights and super bantamweights and flyweights and featherweights, and man, them dudes crack, man.
Absolutely. Yeah,
crack, man. So let's talk about this Regis Progrias fight, man.
Yeah, the Regis Progrias fought on the undercard of the Gervonta Tank Davis fight and
Yeah.
the Cruz fight. He fought in Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. So tell
So
me
okay, so like I did my
what the fuck.
prediction video and I picked Regis to win, right?
Mm,
But I was saying that Juan, he's gonna put out a good showing, even though he's gonna lose. But he's gonna be on notice.
yeah.
Man, was I wrong. Yo, Regis knocked him down in the second round, and then took him out in the third round, and it was just like,
Mhm.
I, this
It was like
guy Juan,
honestly.
he stood in front of Regis for too long.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that with a heavy
No,
puncher like Regis. You
no, no,
stood in
no.
front of him, and then you didn't throw no jabs. You didn't throw
Mm,
anything at him. And like the fights that I was watching him fight before, like he would stand in front of guys, but he would at least throw the jab, at least stay active to give
mm-hmm.
him something to think about. And he did not do none of that against Regis. And you can't do
Mm-hmm.
that against Regis Prograis because Regis Prograis is in there to maul you down.
Absolutely. And you have to think, even Josh Taylor narrowly escaped becoming a victim of the chopper. You know what I'm saying? He narrowly escaped it. So,
One
you know,
more round, and if Regis would have started at least a round earlier, I think
yeah,
he would have. I think he would have knocked down Josh Taylor.
got you. Got you. Yeah, but Regis, that was a good victory for Regis right now. As he's rebounding and as he's coming, because I think he's just recently signed to PBC, recently signed to Premier
Yeah.
Boxing. And so it's going to be interesting to see how he moves from that, and as he goes back into World Championship contention. But yeah, now that was a good victory for Prograis. Now in the Alamo Dome, you ready for the main event?
I'll let you go first.
So coming into this fight, right? So you have Gervonta Davis, who is the WBA super featherweight champion and the WBA lightweight champion. And so this fight is for the 130 and 135 pound belts. It's for dual belts, but the limit is at super featherweight, obviously. But both belts are up for contention. And Oleksandr Cruz, a 4-division champion, Gervonta, a 2-division champion. And so this fight, for me, so let's get into the actual fight. Tank starts out. One thing I realized right in the beginning is that Oleksandr Cruz cannot pull that crap that he does with everyone else with Tank Davis. He cannot come in, cut gloves up, and try to take it into the wilderness. Start a riot against Tank Davis, and he tried to do that so many times until a point where Tank just came back with shots of his own and kind of backed Santa Cruz up. And so that was the first rounder. So Santa Cruz, don't get me wrong, landed great shots. He landed great 1-2 combinations. But Davis was there. Davis's power was present. His power, then his speed. But for Leo Santa Cruz, it was speed, and it was speed all night long to a capacity. One moment, to a capacity, and it was so much speed those first few rounds. And I had Leo Santa Cruz winning the first and second round. A lot of speed, and a lot of those shots were catching Tank Davis. And the reason why I only said Broner there is because for a moment, Tank was doing an Adrian Broner. He was running up on his shots. He was holding them, and I was like, let your shots go, because every time he did it, he would make some moves, you know what I'm saying? And then he started to unravel in the third round, and then started landing he started landing a straight left to the body. He started landing a left to the body, right to the body, going to the body, 1-2 to the head. And he tried to land some counter lefts in the third round, but a lot of them didn't land, but he was mounting an offense. And then into the fourth round, more to the body. And then, those uppercuts started ripping. He started ripping those uppercuts. Leo Santa Cruz comes in, rips those uppercuts. He came in again, rips those uppercuts, going to the body. And so the fourth and fifth rounds were even, but they were even to capacity of where Tank was coming in. Leo throwing more shots, but Tank landing and throwing devastating shots. And you can see where this fight was going. And so the sixth round, a controversy happened because
You're
there
frozen
was
on the
it was a
screen.
shot below the belt, an inadvertent shot below the belt. You're frozen as well.
Oh man. Okay, I'm good now. All right. Yeah, we good. We
Okay,
good.
can you see me? Can
Yeah, I can see you.
you see me?
Yeah, I see you. Now you frozen
All
again.
right, all right. So, uh, you're frozen again as well.
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, I'm good. You good? I
All right.
see you. All right, let's
So,
go. Let's go. I'm just letting you talk,
yeah,
man.
I'm good.
All right.
All right. Okay, so in the sixth round, a controversy happened, and it was an inadvertent shot to below the belt, and it winded obviously Leo Santa Cruz, and but it stopped right there for a second. The referee stopped it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was scared because I thought the referee was going to take a point of Tank Davis. I was so scared because this was a fight looking like you're going to need everything you get, everything counts, and so. Thankfully, thank God he didn't, Plus, also, it was inadvertent. It wasn't like, he wanted it to happen. And so he came back. And so it was wildfire. A riot started in the middle of San Antonio, Texas. A riot started because now here comes Tank Davis, hit Leo Santa Cruz, stunned him, and then it looks like he was going down. Tank tried to finish it. Leo flipped him over, bangs Gervonta Davis right in the face, right to the body. Tank pivots out of the way as they go behind the left corner, the top right corner, right? The corner towards the back. And so they go to the corner, and Gervonta, this time there's Gervonta in charge, and now he takes it to the body of Santa Cruz, pushes him up against the ropes, body again. Leo Santa Cruz now tries to hit him, hit him in the face. Gervonta ducks the right to the face. Boom. And uppercut. Straight from hell. Finished it. It just once. I thought the way Santa Cruz fell, it was insane. It was like white Povetkin. But the only thing is I'd seen what the only thing is I'd seen white like that before. I'd seen white like that before against Anthony Joshua. I'd never seen Leo Santa Cruz in a position like that. Thank God he's well, thank God he's well. But what a fight, what a fight. It was excitement personified between those two guys. I don't want a rematch, but there's no need for a rematch. But the only thing I'm just saying that was just such a great fight. The way after Leo, for me, what got me was like after Leo Cruz's, after the inadvertent shot to the body, the way Tank came in, you know what I'm saying? He came in hard, he came in fast, he hit him, and then he hit him with a shot, and then Leo Santa Cruz was staggered, sends him to the ropes. Leo Santa Cruz flips it and bangs Gervonta straight across the face, straight across the chops. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, that was such a great fight. Such a great, great fight,
I'm glad to see that Leo Santa Cruz's dad was able to make the fight. Because he had a lot of health issues going on.
Yeah, that's true. That was a doc.
Leo Santa Cruz is not one of the world's smartest fighters. And as no. What's the dude name from England? Big Shaq?
Beat Shaq.
Big Shaq, yeah, the dude from England.
Big Shaq,
the rapper.
Yeah, the rapper, yeah. Big
Did
Shaq.
the song "Man's Not Hot," and he says in the song, when the things go quack quack quack, you man be ducking.
Yeah.
You Leo Santa Cruz duck Rigondeaux.
Yeah.
Leo Santa Cruz ducked Gary Russell Jr. to run into a tank.
Yeah.
Why? If I had to choose between fighting Gary Russell Jr. and Tank Davis, I'm going with Gary Russell Jr. I might not. I'll get a beat down for 12 rounds, but I'm not gonna get knocked out.
Yeah. But it's a difference between getting $1.3 million and $4 million.
Listen, Leo Santa Cruz last night got a BNB. Okay.
And what? What's a BNB?
A BNB. That man got a binky and a blanket.
That's true. That was the end of it. That was the end of it.
Shout out to my son. This is his stuff. Shout out to my son. That's his stuff. Why?
Shout out, Kyle.
Why? Why would you duck those fighters? I mean, okay, I understand the Rigondeaux because that was a few years ago. but you can still make
You
120.
got the-
You can still make 126 and fight Gary Russell Jr. I mean,
yeah.
sometimes going for the money ain't worth it.
It depends, it depends, to a certain extent, to a certain capacity, $4 million. If, I'm not saying that's what he got paid. I can imagine that's what he got paid. $4 or $5 million is lifelong money, number one.
It is.
And he was doing okay. I gave Oleksandr Cruz the first 2 rounds. I gave Oleksandr Cruz the first 2 rounds in that fight. And I'll say this as well. I'll say this. Him beating Gervonta Davis would have done more for him than him beating Gary Russell Jr. You know what I mean?
True, but he didn't do it.
Nah, he didn't do it. He didn't
I
do it.
don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what his team was thinking. I don't know what his promoters was thinking.
Mm.
He has 37 victories. Oleksandr Cruz with
Mm-hmm.
only 19 knockouts. That's less than a 50% knockout ratio, I believe. I am not doing the numbers right now. I mean, if need be, I could. So to me, that means you have no power. He
Mm-hmm.
fought Abner Mares,
Mm-hmm.
didn't even stun him. He fought Carl Frampton, didn't stun him. All he did was just throw 100 punches around. That's not gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it at all. Okay, when you start fighting real fighters who have power and who are
Mm-hmm.
elite fighters who know how to minimize you throwing 100 punches around. He didn't throw no 100 punches around last night.
Last night, Tank. Yeah,
He didn't throw
exactly.
no. He didn't throw those. When you fighting people
He
who know
tried
how to,
to, then he
when
does
you
that real
find
quick.
people who know how to neutralize that, you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, Oleksandr Cruz is a good fighter, but he's not. He just I don't think he's as skilled as a fighter as everybody says he is. Because he throws 100 punches around. That's it. Like I don't see anything special about him.
True.
That's why I was like, yo, he was better off fighting Rigondeaux with Gary Russell Jr.
Now, I think
When he could have fought Gary Russell, I mean Rigondeaux,
yeah,
because
yeah,
obviously he moved up in weight.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But why?
Now I like Leo. You can take it from a business standpoint and from an operational standpoint. If you look at it from the long term, he can still fight Gary Russell Jr. now, but he won't be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Amir Khan paradox. The Amir Khan paradigm was that Amir Khan, Kell Brook, Canelo paradigm. Amir Khan could have fought Canelo, lost to Canelo, and still fought Kell Brook. He couldn't have fought Kell Brook, lost to Kell Brook, and then fought Canelo. And so that's the economic standpoint. And he can still and if he was to fight Gary Russell Jr., and probably made $1.3 million on Showtime, and then he wouldn't be, and he'll lose to Gary Russell Jr. So that his career wouldn't be in obscurity per se, but would be in a certain way. Now he fought Tank Davis, got knocked out by Tank Davis, put up a good performance, put up somewhat of a solid performance. You could see Tank getting frustrated, getting stuck, a few times in that fight. I was actually nervous, and he got knocked out, by one punch. He made about $4 or $5 million in that fight, but at the same time now he can go back and fight Gary Russell Jr. He can go back and fight Rigondeaux in any capacity. It's shrewd matchmaking. It's smart matchmaking. It's Al Heyman. It's vintage Al Heyman. It's indicative of. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's only a bad thing when you try and when certain fights are important don't get made, and you have fighters in the position of Gary Russell Jr. It's all well and good Leo getting all these fights, but now Gary Russell Jr. He's not getting those fights. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So. Yeah, so but was Oleksandr Cruz smart to do what he done? I say that was good. That was good business. That was good for the long term of his career, and he made a lot of money, and he was fun on pay-per-view, and yeah.
So what do you think Tank should go from here?
One thing that I did notice enough, I say Tank cannot beat Teofimo Lopez, at least not now. Tank Davis should stay at super featherweight. Thank God he made super featherweight, and thank God he made it first time, And I definitely don't think he should, because I would say that because Teofimo Lopez is the WBA super lightweight champion.
Yeah.
Tank Davis is WBA regular lightweight champion, and Rolly Romero is the WBA is the interim champion. So it would make sense for a Teofimo Lopez fight, but I don't think it should happen yet. I think if anything, maybe I say vacate the lightweight belt and stick around super featherweight for a little bit. Stay disciplined. Stay disciplined. Keep your weight down. And then who knows? Rolly might become the new WBA regular world champion. He might fit into that mainstay, and so and then later fight his friend Teofimo Lopez. But I say he should stay around super featherweight. Yeah,
I say Tank.
Miguel Bichot, a unification match against Miguel Bichot would be sexy. A fight against Jamel Herring. I say he can be undisputed super featherweight champion. He beats Jojo Diaz, beats Miguel Bichot, beats Jamel Herring, beats Carl Frampton, and beats Shaqy Stevenson, and yeah. Okay, relax on the Shaq. I didn't say Shaq Stevenson, but he beats the 4 champions. He beats all 4 champions, and if he becomes the undisputed super featherweight champion of the world, that's just great. You know what I'm saying? That's just great from a kid from Baltimore.
I agree with you 100% with that, and I think that will take Tank's super, like his stardom, and just put it on to a whole nother level, because that's one thing that's been missing in boxing, and that's the one thing that the great Floyd Mayweather has not done, is become undisputed in any of his
champion.
Yeah. That would take that, like Tank would, if Tank was just to become undisputed, forget about unifying, but he was to get all 4 of those belts.
Yeah.
He could be fighting and it won't be for a belt, and it'll still be a pay-per-view fight.
So
I think that would be the best thing for Tank to do. Now, will he do that? We don't know. But will he get those fights? Will he get those fights? That's another thing, because the politics.
He got get the Jojo Diaz fight. I think politics. I think he can get the Miguel Bichot fight as well. And Jamel Herring, Jamel Herring is with the old man, so that might be hard. But then again, if Jamel Herring loses to Carl Frampton's with the old man now as a top rank.
Exactly.
But
and Miguel Bichot.
But you know what? I would say the super featherweight division isn't a political hot potato like other divisions, like let's say the WBO welterweight championship is. That's a political. The welterweight division is a political hot potato. The heavyweight division is a political hot potato. So maybe when you get less political fights, such as Jojo Diaz and Garros Jr., those were 2 opposing sides, and PBC and they came together. So if the fight is the less political it is, the more likely fights happen.
I think a Jojo Diaz Tank fight is more realistic than the Miguel Bichot and Jamel Herring fight.
Yeah, that can happen.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Man.
But the thing is, Al Heyman, the thing is for me, with The Godfather, he needs to be more enterprising. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been very enterprising since he started this whole thing, so. But one thing I wanted to say, though, this year, this has been one of the most shocking years in championship boxing. And keep in mind, it's a year that has not like nothing. It didn't have to happen. You know what I'm saying? A year where boxing shouldn't have even happened because of the whole the Wuhan coronavirus. So it shouldn't have. You had Deontay Wilder being stopped and losing the world's heavyweight crown, Tyson Fury winning it. You had Dillian White being upset, by Povetkin. You had Vasilij Lomachenko being upset. Now you've had Gervonta Davis knocking out Usyk Cruz. It has been upset on top of upset on top of upset. It's been an incredible year.
I don't even think it's been upsets, man. I just think it's been a great year of boxing with everything that's been going on. And we've been seeing some great fights, and we still got great fights to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Devin Haney's fighting next weekend. You have Terrence Crawford and Kell Brook coming up. After the following weekend. Something big something on the 21st is going on. Then you have, in the December 5th, you still have
Yeah, AJ coming in and Tyson
AJ's
coming in.
fighting. The AJ's fighting. He's fighting Pulev. You still got Danny Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. Like we still got a good, at least 6, 7 good more fights before the year's out.
Oh, exactly. Nah, good stuff. Good stuff.
I mean, now one fight that I wanted to watch and I missed was that Usyk fight. I heard that he won. I like the first 3 rounds, and then I was just running around doing a lot of stuff in the house. And I like Usyk. I like him a lot. I just don't like him at heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
He's slow. His defense isn't that good. His movement isn't that good. His punches is coming out slow.
Mm.
When they announced him, he had put his arm up and shook his arm, and then his whole arm was shaking. Like I think he needs to go back. I mean, economically, it's good for him to stay at heavyweight because at cruiserweight, cruiserweight is like a lost division. We don't have too many like outside of Gassif and Andrew Tabiti. I don't know any other cruiserweight at all.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know why that division is not being promoted. Maybe I don't know why.
Some of the fighters, some of the champions in that division under Eastern European promotership, Eastern European stewardship. So it's there. So the majors right now, they don't have a lot of they don't have the champions. They don't promote many of the champions, But speaking of, promoting some champions, Essex Eddie has a fighter by the name of The Source, who comes from London. The Source is a heavyweight and is a cruiserweight who I really like, with Team GB, and he was supposed to fight Dennis Lebedev, but I think he's still gonna fight for the WBA Cruiserweight Championship soon. And the thing is, I like him very much. I like Lawrence Okoli, Lawrence the Source Okoli. I like him, and I think he could do bits. You know what I'm saying? He could do bits. There could be a rejuvenation in the cruiserweight division, per se. But nah, you're right. As of right now, the cruiserweight division isn't very commercial. You've got your Ilingu Makabus, who I know. I only know him solely because Tony Bellew beat him for the title, and
Okay.
And so now, but I agree. Do I think Usyk should stay at heavyweight? I think he can only stay at heavyweight. I mean, it's a new challenge. He's going to take what he had in this fight, learn from it, move on from it, because he's 6'3", so it's not like he's very small. He's 6'3", which is around the same size as Dillian White and Joe Parker and Chisora. And Chisora might be an inch smaller, same size as David Hay. So I say that fight, is a good learning fight, good experience, you know what I'm saying, especially with a banger and some guy who's not going to roll over like Derek Chisora. So I think he can still do good things at heavyweight.
Yeah, but
might become the world champion, might not become the world champion, but yeah.
No, but the thing that was his thing at cruiserweight, a lot of people thought he was going to bring that to heavyweight, but with the extra weight on him, it's not that speed and that movement that he had at cruiserweight. It's not carrying over to heavyweight because of the weight that he had to add on. And it's not, to me, it doesn't even look like it was like you solidly put the muscle on. It just looked like he just put the weight on.
Yeah.
He just put the weight on to make it, but it's not like he looks solid with it, And I think in the long run, that might hurt him because he doesn't. If he had the same speed and movement that he had at cruiserweight at heavyweight, then I could see him doing a lot of, with the bigger names doing some things. I mean, who knows? It's just my opinion, but who knows? He might be going in there and he might outbox a couple of some of these heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how he will hold up against the elites like the Anthony Joshuas, the Tyson Furies, the Deontay Wilders. The Andy Ruiz, like if Andy Ruiz was to fight Usyk the same way he fought Anthony Joshua in the first fight, I think Usyk is going to have some problems.
Some problems, yeah, absolutely. But interesting, interesting, and it's going to be very good to see. you know, and it's a shame what's been happening with the Deontay Wilder situation, but we'll speak about that in very near future. And you know, a lot of business, you know, the business negotiations, dealings, you know, contracts and things of that nature, and so have been prolonging the rematch, the third match between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. And there's been speculation that Wilder, if it does not happen this year, Wilder will not challenge for the heavyweight crown until 2022. So 2 years.
And Fury has declined the fight. He said he wants to fight somebody else. He wants to fight I think the weekend of December 19th, and he doesn't want to fight Wilder. So, you know, I think the Wilder situation is a bad situation all around.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel bad.
Yeah.
But now I like, you know what I'm saying, all the best. You know, my top is Joshua. So right now, you know, just hoping he's doing his thing and getting ready for Kubrat Pulev, and yeah.
Yeah. It's all right, my man. And you got a new haircut too. Ooh, you missed a video, but then you come back with a fresh cut. Look at you, boy.
You know it.
Yo.
Things Baba sorted me up, Uncle sorted me out, you know. So yeah, I'm liking it.
All right, man. Well, let me close this out, man. My young man, he just woke up from his nap, so we about to go upstairs and run around on the floor, man. We about to play around on the floor.
Good night, man. Thank you guys for joining us. And from Birmingham, I'm Daniel Kamalo.
Yep, and your boy Cam, man. Like, subscribe, and comment. You know it. And we are gone.